How many of you had a homecoming in the last few years, last year? You go home and meet all your relatives and friends, or you have a big get-together. How many of you have a homecoming on a regular basis annually? Yeah. And so homecoming is important. But today we want to talk a little bit about the homecoming when you come back to church. Coming back to church. And give a little insight into you can come home again. You can come home again. No matter what you've done in life. No matter how good or how bad you have been, you can come home again. Coming back to church, coming back to God. Our story begins this morning. How many of you have read the story of Jacob and Esau? Two brothers, twins. Well, our story begins today with Rebekah and Isaac. They are the husband and wife. They are the parents of Esau and Jacob. Now, Rebekah was with children. She was having some labor complications. Things weren't going right, and she sought the Lord, and the Lord said, well, the reason why you are having some complication is because you have two children in your womb, and they are two nations, and they will be against each other. But she said that the younger one would be ruler over the older one. And God told her this before the boys were born. And so the children were born, Esau and Jacob. Jacob was born first. When Jacob was born, Esau was born, he was sort of reddish in character, so they named his name Esau. And Jacob was born, and it looked as if he was holding on to the heel of his brother, as if trying to say, let me be born first, and he was trying to be the first birth. And they called his name Jacob, or trickster, or cheater. But as the boys grew older, it seems to indicate that Rebekah would tell Jacob that he was a promised child, and so everything he did was going to make sure that happened. So he even tricked his brother into selling his birthright. But when his father Isaac was old, had gone on in years, and it was time for the inheritance to be shared, and always the oldest child received inheritance. And so Rebekah had come up with a scheme to say, now, I want you to pretend that you're your brother Esau. Go in there and I'll put some lamb wool on your hand, on your arms, and make your father Isaac feel like that you are hairy, and that you and sort of deepen your voice, because Jacob had sort of a mellow voice. I guess he was a mama's child. And he sort of deepened his voice, and he went into his father Isaac, and now, of course, we know the story. Isaac gave him the blessings, and Esau found out. Esau said, as soon as my dad dies, I'm going to kill you. And realizing that her son might be killed by his brother, Rebekah tells Jacob to go to her brother's home in Pardon, which is about 400 miles from where they live, and stay there until your brother anger subsides, and then come back. But on his way, leaving his mom's house, fearing that his brother would kill him, leaving the comfort of home, because he was always a mama's child, and left the comfort of home. And on his way to his uncle's house, Laban, he stopped to get some rest, and he was really distressed. He was really, as we say, having a bad day. And so he took a break. And at that moment, when he went to sleep, God appeared to him in a vision and told him that I am the God of your grandfather Abraham and of your father Isaac, and that I will make a covenant with you, and I will be your God, and you will be my people. And Jacob awoke from the dream and realized that he had first had an encounter with God. All his life, he never experienced God until this point in time. And so he took out a stone and he put it on the ground. And he said, I'm going to call this place Bethel, the house of God. And whenever I get in trouble, and whenever I have problems, I'm going to think of Bethel or come back to Bethel, God's house. So he got up and continued his journey. He went to Haran, which is Padan, and he stayed there with his uncle. And you know the story. He wanted Rachel, but he married Leah. His uncle cheated him or tricked him. I don't know. Leah was sort of weak. I don't know whether she was weak to look at or had weak eyes. But he didn't like her for some reason. But he married her, and that's a good thing, guys. If you don't like them, don't marry them. Because you're not doing them any favor. But, so he married Leah, and then, of course, he eventually married Rachel. And he stayed there 20 years. He was away from home 20 years. And, of course, at that time, Laban and his other sons were beginning to be a little bit upset with Jacob because God was blessing him so much. So Jacob decided to return back to his father's house. And then he got himself together and he going back to his father's house with his 11 children and his 2 concubines, 2 wives. And of course, when he got there, Esau, he thought Esau was going to be angry with him, but Esau wasn't. He wasn't at all. He greeted him lovingly. And unfortunately, his mother, Rebekah, had died. But Isaac, the old man who thought was on his deathbed, was still living. He hadn't died yet. In fact, he died 30-some years later. So sometimes that tells you that leaning tree is not the first one to fall. Some of you think I'm leaning, don't you? Never know. But anyway, let's go on with our story. Say, go on with your story, Pastor. I can remember what it is. So they got back into the home, and he was there for a while, and they began to enjoy the home of where he had grown up. But Jacob had a daughter named Diana, who was the daughter of Leah, his first wife. And she was a beautiful young lady. And one of the men of the city where Jacob was, he was a Hivite, raped her and took her forcefully. And then he said he fell in love with her. That's sort of strange, isn't it? Weird thing. But anyway, and he said to Jacob, my people will intermarry with your people, and my son will marry your daughter. And Jacob said, okay, that's a good deal. But Jacob's 2 sons, Simeon and Levi, didn't like that because this guy had raped their sister, Diana. And so they came up with a scheme. They said, we're going to pretend that we're going to take these guys in and let this nation become a part of our family. And what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to be circumcised. And when they are circumcised, what we're going to do while they're healing from their circumcision, we're going to kill them. Kill all of them. And that's what they did. They killed all of them. And Jacob realized that his sons had just started a war in the land. He said, I am at the point where I don't know what to do. He said, I don't have that many men, and all the nations around me are now going to attack me and destroy me. So he was distressed, didn't know what to do. Like many of us sometimes. We have problems and situations going on in our lives. We don't know what to do. Sometimes our lives are marriage problems and financial problems and emotional problems. We don't know what to do. And Jacob said, I don't know what to do. And God spoke to him and said, why don't you return to Bethel? Why don't you turn home where you first found me? And so Jacob got up and went back to Bethel, where he first found the Lord.